Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the BioTouch Health Condition Workshop on the lymphatic health or lymphedema. My name is Paul,
Good evening. This is Bev.
and we have a very special guest with us today that I spelled wrong up here, but I'll fix that. Hillary Gooden. How are you today, Hillary?
I'm wonderful. Thank you all for having me here.
Yes,
We're happy to have you.
we are thrilled. We've talked to Hillary before the show, and we are excited to hear what she's got to say about lymphatic health. You can go to her website too at hillarygooden.com. That's GOODEN.com, hillarygooden.com. And we're going to let her speak, and then we're going to, if you have any questions, you can post it on the comments there. We'll pass it on to her, and then we'll come together after she's done with her presentation to teach us some BioTouch healing points. All right, Hillary, you're on.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'm here to talk about lymphatic health. And most of the times I start out, people want to know, how did you get started with this? What made you want to get into lymphatic health? I am like most people. I had never heard of the lymphatic system, maybe lymph nodes, but that was about it. I ended up, I used to be a I used to be a CFO of a behavioral health center. And so I had a lot of responsibilities on me. Over time, what happened was I developed a chronic cough. This cough, I first thought was the result of my eating too much dairy products, maybe. And somebody, love pizza. And I do like cheese. And so I figured, oh my goodness, I need to adjust my diet. But then I began to realize that when I was in stressful situations, this cough would appear out of nowhere, like 40 going north, and I would be in full blown cough attack. And it would take me a minute, take me a few seconds to get my breath together so that I could calm down and breathe and carry on. And so as that kept happening, I said, well, let me go to the doctor and find out what can she give me to to stop this from happening, because it always felt made me feel like people thought I was weak because it happened in stressful situations. It happened when there were times of confrontation, and the cough would happen before I can make my point. And so I went to the doctor. The doctor told me, after all the tests, she even had sent me to a specialist, respiratory specialist. And after everything was said and done, she gave me 3 prescriptions, and one was for an inhaler. Because I asked her, okay, what is this one for? What is this one for? What is this one for? And she said, you're going to have to get an inhaler. And I said, oh God, I don't really want to do that. Is there anything that you can tell me I can go to the health food store to get that could help? The look on my doctor's face, I did not understand it then. I understand it now. But that look that she gave me, she looked at me real good, eye to eye. Then she shoved her hand into her white coat and pulled out her personal inhaler and said, you're just going to have to go and get an inhaler and take it for the rest of your life, just like I do. And she shoved it back in her pocket and walked out of the little room. I sat there thinking, oh, that's not going to work for me. I got to figure out something different. So I waited for her to come back because I had more questions. She never came back. I asked the nurse, is the doctor coming back? So, well, no, she's in with another patient. So I guess she's done. I tore up those prescriptions. I don't, I'm not telling anyone else to do what I did. This is my story. All right. So I tore up those prescriptions, and I decided to find out what could I do without taking some type of pharmaceutical to help. And that led me on my journey, my health journey, the journey to find out how to stop this cough, or what can I do to 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 be able to help myself. And I learned a lot of things along the way about breathing. Breathing was one of the first things that I encountered, breathing exercises. And I thought, wow, this is really helpful. And it doesn't cost me anything, and I'm breathing anyway. I was learning how to make breathing work for me. And I thought, this is really great. And so the next thing that was of a milestone on my journey was one of my coworkers. She purchased a NutriBullet. NutriBullet doesn't pay me anything for this, but she purchased a NutriBullet. And we were both so excited about all of the different concoctions she was putting together with fresh fruits and vegetables and, nuts and seeds and all of that thing. And every day she would come in and I would ask her, well, what did you fix today and what is it for? And I finally decided to get one of my own. I went out, bought a NutriBullet. Now you just don't know how excited I was because I was looking up different recipes that were dealing with the respiratory system that I could try. And so this little back and forth thing that we did every day just led me on further down the road. And I ended up going to and we all use it, YouTube University, to find out even more information. What are other people doing with their NutriBullets? I ran into a guy that was interviewing a gentleman. This gentleman's story intrigued me so much, and this was another milestone along the way. He was talking about how his doctors had given him up, told him, listen, there's nothing else we can do for you. You need to go home and get your affairs in order. You have about 6 months to live. And he encountered someone that told him, I know somebody that can help you. The man that he met said, I can help you. One of the first things that you're going to have to do is obey everything I tell you to do, because what I know works. And after they talked that first time, the man told him, you're going to have to forgive. You have things going on, after their discussion that you need to forgive. This unforgiveness is not going to work. And I thought that was really interesting because I'm a vibrant life promoter. I promote vibrant life by having better health through activating your lymphatic system. But I'm also a pastor as well. So I thought that is really interesting that was one of the first things that he told him he was going to have to do so that he could get better. And I've seen this also work in my dealing with different clients that I have worked with. Unforgiveness is a killer, and there's no pill for it. That's that inner work that you have to do. And so he talked about all of that, and then he's talked about the lymphatic system. He told them about bouncing on a mini trampoline, and that made me lean in a little closer. Bouncing on a mini trampoline is supposed to help you feel better, help you get healthier. I mean, healthier to turn around this man's health from being on the road to death onto the road to better health and life. Oh, wow, that intrigued me so much. I began to study about the lymphatic system. Who did this man learn from? That's what I wanted to know. I found out about the man that he learned from, and I read everything I could and just gleaned what I could. Then I wanted to know, who did he learn from? And I found myself, as I kept going back and back I found myself in the 1800s. I said, this has been around this long, and this is something that really works, and nobody's talking about it. Why haven't I heard about it? Why didn't my doctor tell me about this? That is what, really just really got me the most. This is something they know about, but nobody's talking about it to help our society. And so I ended up going to the International Academy of Lymphology, which was started by Dr. Carl West. And he was one that found a formula about how to, anyway, let me not go down that road. It's just like, let me get straight to the point. The lymphatic system, it is the most, I would say, from where I stand, it's one of the most important systems of the body that we need to know about, because it helps to cleanse all the other systems of the body. It helps to balance the level of fluids in the body. When it's not working properly, you end up with loss of energy, pain, and a host of other conditions that they give names to. If you got it, your lymphatic system is not working and you have a buildup of cellular waste, a buildup of trapped blood proteins and fluid, they call it, if it's in the eyes, they call it glaucoma. If it happens in your joints, they call it arthritis. Depending on what's going on or where, they've given them different names. But this buildup of cellular waste and toxins, this buildup of trapped blood proteins and fluid from the bloodstream causes inflammation. That inflammation is at the base of most all conditions of illness that are known to man. You know, when you listen, if you listen or track or find out or ask enough questions, the bottom common denominator is inflammation. So we deal with a lot of our things that are wrong with us, dealing with the symptoms. And I'm sure you learned through BioTouch, you know, how to get to the real issue, because when you can heal the real problem, the symptoms go away. That lack of energy, brain fog, not being able to sleep well, having chronic fatigue syndrome, your immune system being compromised. And then the best thing of all is your vitality, that feeling youthful and young at heart, no matter what the numbers said. So the lymphatic system, how does it work? The lymphatic system works in conjunction alongside of the blood system. So when you think about the blood has a pump, which is your heart. Now the heart helps to pump the blood away from the heart and back to the heart. The lymphatic system has lymph fluid, and that lymph fluid needs to pump and circulate through the body as well. The issue here is that the lymph system does not have a pump. You are the pump. Movement is key to the lymphatic system working at its optimal level. When it is working properly, it's going to help to vacuum. It acts like a vacuum that will vacuum out the excess trapped blood protein, trapped fluid from the blood system, and any cellular waste. You know, we have cells that die off every day, and then we have new cells being regenerated. But the problem is the cells shouldn't die off and then stay where they are. The system of the lymphatic system helps to draw them away from where they died off, and so that they can go through the lymph nodes and be filtered, and the trapped blood proteins and fluid can be filtered through the lymph nodes and go back into the bloodstream. And when everything is working optimally, you're going to be in good health. Good health. You have proper amount of oxygen around your cells, because when that buildup is in place, oxygen is not at its optimal level. And a key thing about that is that oxygen is what heals. It's a beautiful thing. And so what's the best way to work your lymphatic system? Well, you heard me say bouncing on a mini trampoline. That's the number one way to help activate your lymphatic system. That bouncing, what's so beautiful about the bouncing, you can do what's known as a gentle bounce or health bounce. In my world, we call it lymphasizing, because the focus is not trying to get a cardio workout, but rather to work your lymphatic system. And it does not take that much to do it, just a gentle bounce. So anybody can do this bounce. And at the bottom of the bounce, there are check valves along the way of the lymphatic system. At the bottom of the bounce, those check valves open, and the lymph fluid can rush up, can flow up, because it only flows in one direction. Unlike the blood going away from the heart and back to the heart, the lymph fluid only runs upwards. And so at the bottom of the bounce, the check valves open and the fluid runs up like it should. It helps to activate those vessels that suction out that excess of buildup wherever it may be in the body. So you have a system of lymphatic vessels that are from the bottom of your feet all the way to the top of your head. So bouncing on a mini trampoline is the number one way to activate your lymphatic system and to help it to maintain its optimal level. The number two way that I promote is breathing exercises, because breathing is something that, again, you're doing it anyway. Why not make it work for you? It helps to, when your diaphragm is moving upward, up and down, that up and down motion, that helps your lymphatic system also to have that, how can I say, that up and down motion throughout the body, because it helps to contract the muscles, and it can cause something that's going to help those vessels to work and to help the check valves to be able to open as they should, to release the lymph fluid to flow upwards in the body. So other ways that you can do, you may have heard of lymphatic massages that you can get, and they're nothing like getting a deep tissue massage. It's very light because your lymphatic vessels are right under the skin, and a gentle touch is all that's needed to help to move lymph through those vessels. So that's the basic things to know about the lymphatic system. Bouncing on the mini trampoline, or even doing your breathing exercises, just doing it like the bouncing, if you do it 3 to 5 minutes, and in some cases, if you're having a problem like lymphedema, or you know that you're having a swelling because of the inflammation, that buildup, or maybe you're dealing with the fatigue or pain in the body, you don't even have to bounce that much. Just bouncing, as much as you can, a little. I would say, when I work with people, sometimes we're talking seconds at a time, depending on how serious the condition is. Well, you can stand on your feet and lift your heels. Lift your heels up and down, up and down. Yes, that's helpful. And walking, just the motion of movement is what's key. In our society today, we have come to such a place where we're just like we're sitting here, you're sitting there watching, we're sitting here talking to you, I'm talking to you, and you do so much work from your computers, your handheld devices, whether it's laptops or whatever. We sit so much. So it's really important for us to move, because that's what God intended, for us to move our bodies. So if that's walking, you asking me what's the best exercise you should do, I'm going to tell you bouncing on a mini trampoline. But if you don't have a trampoline, get up and move your body, dance around, take a walk, do some jumping jacks, do the twist, do something. You always tell the people, you got the power to help your body, help you have better health and a more vibrant life. I wrote a book about it. That's the name of my book. You got the power. And it's 7 ways you can transform your health and peace. Because when you have peace in your body, as I said, just think about having peace in your body, peace in your mind. Your health is going to benefit from that. When you got good health, you have that peace in your mind and peace in your body. But when one or the other is disrupted, it's going to frustrate the other. So, it's important to do what you can. If you're under a doctor's care, follow what your doctor tells you to do. But you're breathing anyway. Why not make that work for you? Your doctor can't move your body for you. You have to move your body. So these are things that you can do. Getting fresh air, getting sunshine, these different things help you overall. But I have found, I was just reading it the other day, I haven't read it in a while, but if your lymphatic system is not, like if it's shut down in 24 hours, you're out of here. I mean, dead and gone. That's how important it is. I was watching a documentary just to prove this. I was watching this like a 60-minute show actually, and there was a man who was uh, uh, a producer of movies, and he went to a conference. When he got to the conference, everything was well with him, but he began to feel kind of sick. He didn't know what was wrong. He told the people at the hotel, please tell me where the hospital is. I need to go to the hospital. He got to the hospital. They ended up admitting him. He was his organs was shutting down, and they couldn't tell what was going on. They was doing every kind of test they could think of. They told him, listen, who is your next of kin? You need to go. He said, my next of kin. So you need to call somebody, because if we don't do something in 12 hours, we don't know. You got like 12 hours here. 12 hours. And as I was sitting there watching, I was saying, his lymphatic system, I bet you it's his lymphatic system is not working, and it's everything else is shutting down. And they brought in a specialist, and wherever they flew this doctor in, and once he looked at him and checked him and everything, that is what he found out. His lymphatic system was failing, and all the other systems of the body were shutting down. So it's something that we don't hear about as much as we should. I'm here to tell you that you got the power to help your body help you. Movement, it will help you. Doing breathing exercises will help you. And just taking some responsibility that when we do our part, the body already knows what to do. When the conditions are right, the body will heal itself. So of course when it comes to eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, that's helpful. That's not going to frustrate the lymphatic system. Eating more cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and broccoli and things of that nature are really good. And berries are good. Drinking enough water, clean water, is good. That's going to be helpful to you. Not wearing tight clothes. When you wear tight clothes, it can not only cut off the circulation of your blood, but it can hinder the circulation of your lymph fluid being able to circulate properly as well. It's just seems like small things, but this is what God intended, that when we do our part, the body naturally knows what to do to keep us healthy and to keep us in good health. So that's really what I wanted to say. If anybody had any other questions, or if you all have any questions for me, I would be glad to answer them.
Well, I'll tell you, what's nice about your presentation is it's simple.
I love it. Well, and it's so perfect for us. What a great partnership, because what you say, help your body to help you and take responsibility. That's what BioTouch is here to remind us all to do. It's perfect.
So somebody had a question. Is there a specific breathing technique that you give people, your clients at all?
One of my favorite that I share with people is the alternate breathing. Everybody talks about box breathing, 4 breaths in, hold for 4, and then breathe out for 4. But alternate breathing is the beautiful thing. So just right quick, when we should breathe in and out through the nose, just your regular sitting around breathing. Breathe in and out through the nose, not mouth breathing. That can be a problem. Mouth breathing can lead to over breathing, which can cause all of the different respiratory issues like asthma and even sleep apnea. So the way you breathe in the day is the way you breathe while you sleep. That's important to remember. Sleep. Alternate breathing goes like this. I'll show you first, and then we'll go through three counts, that you can do this with me. So when we breathe, just to tell you about breathing right quick, when you breathe in and out through the nose, what God intended is for the air to be warmed, the air to be filtered, and then the best thing is that the lungs knows how much air is needed at any given time. So when you breathe in and out through your nose, you won't overbreathe. And so when you breathe it in and out through the nose, also that that oxygen can go to the deeper parts of your lungs where the rich blood is that gets recirculated through the rest of your body. So here's alternate breathing. You're gonna we're gonna take one finger, close off close off your right nostril. Then we're gonna breathe in through the left, and it's just not a deep over, just regular breathing in through the left. We're gonna hold it and then alternate. So you breathe in, hold it, alternate, breathe out. Breathe in, hold it, alternate. So just this is how it goes. So you're gonna go in, out, in, out, in, out. So you want to try that with me? Let's do it. Let's do it together. Everybody that is listening. Okay, so you're gonna hold one nostril down. Okay, you're gonna inhale, hold it, exhale. Inhale, hold it, alternate, exhale. Inhale, hold it, alternate, exhale. I do that every morning. Every morning. You can do it at any time. That's the beautiful thing about breathing, because you're breathing anyway.
Perfect.
But I do it every morning, and I do it until what will happen. And this is called listening to your body. When you do it and you just keep doing it, you're going to get to a place that when you get ready to take another breath, you'll feel your body will let you know that's enough for now.
Perfect.
It's such a calm peace. I was showing somebody on another interview the other day, and the comments that were coming in, oh, the pain in my back just went away. Oh my God, I didn't realize I was stuffed up. My head is clear. And I was like, wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, so just you can do it in the morning, help to get your systems and stuff going. And your body will let you know when you've done enough for now.
Wow.
Well, Hillary, you have
thank you, Hillary, for
been
that. That's
simple,
a lovely takeaway.
inspirational.
Welcome.
We're glad that you took that path of taking care of the lymph system and sharing us some really simple things. Hey, anybody out there that's watching, HillaryGooden.com. She has that book again. What's the name of the book again?
The book is You Got the Power.
You Got the Power.
Because I believe you got the power.
You got the power.
7 ways
right on. So if you want her book and
your health and peace.
Yep, and I'm assuming you work with clients too. They can contact you at HillaryGooden.com.
Yes, they can contact me there, or they can direct message me on LinkedIn or Facebook.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Great.
All right, Hillary, we thank you so much for sharing with us some great information, and
that was wonderful.
I
learned a lot.
Yeah, so did I. I got lots of notes.
Thank you all again for having me on. I always appreciate being able to spread this message.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, everybody, here we go. Whew. I'll tell you, there we go. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity.
Oh, man, that was so good, wasn't it?
It was, and especially when she got to the point about the lymph just sits right under the skin.
I know. I have an exclamation point.
So do I. I got stars.
I'm like, wait, what? Light on the skin?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hillary, that was excellent. And we thank Eileen
so
Webster
much
for finding Hillary for us. And now we're going to move right into teaching the few sets of points that can help work with that lymph system. If you want the workbook, you can go to justtouch.com/workbook. And we're going to turn this over to Bev as we go through the workbook and share some of the videos.
Yes. So for those who do have the workbook, or you can see it here, in our workbooks, they are designed to give you those specific sets of points that will help with whatever the condition is that we're dealing with. And always, as you'll notice, there is a cover page with a write-up about that condition, and just to give us some basic information. And I always like to thank our foundation scribe, Paula Taylor, because she does these write-ups for us, and they're just really comprehensive and very good. So again, thank you, Paula, for helping us with this. So let's go to the very first page after that cover, and it's called What is BioTouch? And these pages are taken from our manual, by the way. They're copies from our manual that has the whole technique in it, but we have taken excerpts from it to teach about lymphedema tonight. So what is BioTouch? Basically, that first paragraph pretty much sums it up. It is a very light healing technique, touching lightly on the skin with the first two fingers of your hands. And you always touch the skin like a butterfly, we say, very, very lightly. And in fact, it seems that the lighter that you touch the body, the louder the body hears and senses that touch. It's just quiet, it's non-invasive. So the definition of BioTouch is one person touching another person lightly on the skin. And we have this question all the time: can you do it on yourselves? And I'll just start with that. If you can reach certain points in a set, why not? If you don't have anybody else to help you. But the very definition of BioTouch is it takes two. This is a relationship. And I think that's one of the most powerful things, the message that BioTouch is bringing to all of us. This takes two people working together in a relationship of healing. So let's look at these 4 bullets. This is for those of you who are new to BioTouch. This will give you an overall little introduction. So the first bullet, BioTouch is easy to learn. That's indeed what we say. And yes, children have not only learned it, but have become certified. Children just seem to have an innate response to BioTouch. It's so simple and it's so innate in all of us. I always think that when we practice it, we become as a child. No ego, just do it. You know, just you're there just with another person, just being present. So it's very easy to learn. 17 sets of points in this one manual. That's it. That's the only thing you need to learn BioTouch. It is a complement to any healthcare program. Yes, it certainly is, and even more so. Over the years, we have started to recognize how integrative BioTouch is with everything. It doesn't matter if you're under a doctor's care, on a strict diet, if you're on prescriptions, if you're doing other modalities, BioTouch will only enhance everything you're doing. So it is, like I said, it's very complementary, but it's integrative, it's holistic. There's a lot of things that begin to happen with BioTouch with consistency of use. And it will just start to take you on a journey of what we call self-awareness. So the consistency is key. BioTouch has no levels of ability. And this is one of the maybe totally different, unique things about BioTouch. There are no levels. Once you learn the technique, you have it. You're immediately effective. The moment that you touch another person with BioTouch, you are going to be effective for them. You do not have to wait until you're, educated enough or spiritual enough or whatever it is. There's no real knowledge. You don't even have to know the anatomy. BioTouch is area specific. Anything that happens in the respiratory system is going to be, we're going to use the lung set. and on and on. So it's very simple and it's very easy for everyone to learn. Like, as we said in that first bullet, children can learn this. So all of us, this is here for all of us to have in our lives so that we can share it with everyone. BioTouch requires no special preparation. There's no belief or state of mind. You're always effective no matter what your belief system is or what kind of mood you're in. There's no preparation required on any level. The only thing that's required is these two fingers and seeing one of your brothers and sisters in pain or suffering, and you just want to help them. That's innate in all of us. So BioTouch it's pulling out of us in many ways what we already are. And that is to care for each other, to love and to care for each other. So that's basically, there's, a lot more. If you ever take the practitioner training, we will go in a little deeper, but in a nutshell, that's pretty much what we all know about BioTouch to be true. So when you start to practice BioTouch, there's only a few things that you need to do. We always want to wash our hands before you work with anybody. Remember, it's one person touching another person. We're going to always begin with the first set that we're going to learn tonight is called the greeting. And you're always going to use the first two fingers of each hand, touching lightly on the skin. And you're going to hold each point 6 to 8 seconds. So BioTouch is something you can practice anywhere, anytime, with anyone, and it's always going to be amazing. So we're going to begin. I think, Paul, that we're going to just go on with the terms. Yes? Anything you wanted to add?
No, just if you have the manual, you'll notice at the bottom of each of those pages and that there says click here to watch the video. So the videos that we're going to show through this little workbook, and it's also in the entire manual, those little links take you to the videos that we're going to be watching today. So just so you all know that if you have the workbook in front of you.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Are you going to talk about the associate or no?
Yes, I'm going to, before we move on. Yeah, these first two bullets on the terms used in this manual, these terms are really, they describe how you can touch using different types of procedures. But we always like to bring to your attention these first two bullets, the associate and the recipient. This is really the two that make up the relationship that BioTouch creates. So the associate is the person who performs BioTouch, the procedures always. But what we like to say is, and bring to your attention is, it's a the definition of it in the dictionary is one who is often in the company with another, implying an intimacy or an equality, and one having an interest in common with another. And this is exactly what happens in a BioTouch session. The equality is really, I think, a very important point. This is what happens in that relationship of healing. One may be giving it and one may be receiving it, but a relationship is both receiving and giving. And that's what happens with BioTouch. And the second bullet, the recipient, is the one who benefits or is the beneficiary of the procedures. But I'm here to tell you that like I said, it doesn't matter if you're giving it or receiving it. This is going to be, we all get what we need from BioTouch, no matter what part you're playing in that relationship. It's a very powerful healing relationship to enter into. So I think we are ready to do what I mentioned before, the very first set that you always want to use when you begin a session, when you begin working and practicing BioTouch with another person, is called the greeting. And it's so important. You have to do the greeting before you can address any other part of the body. And it is this, it just sets up the harmony between the associate and the recipient. It establishes for the body that there's going to be biotouch playing around in here. And it prepares the body. It opens up. It's the key that starts the whole process. And you will see in the, I won't go into all the details. You can watch it in the video when Paul puts that on. So let's go ahead and watch someone giving the greeting.
And just so you know, each set has 2 pages to it. One is this little drawing you're seeing here with the numbers of the points, and a little synopsis of where those points should be touched and how. The second page always has some photographs and a detailed description of how to find those points. Those descriptions are exactly the same words that are used in the video, which again is that link down at the bottom. And that's what we'll be showing here on how to practice the greeting.
Right.
The greeting is always performed at the beginning of each session. It's the only set that uses one hand and the only set that indicates which hand to use. The greeting is performed with the dominant hand. If you are right-handed, use your right hand. If you are left-handed, use your left hand. The greeting is made by touching at point 1, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone or sternum. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. Then, with the same 2 fingers, touch point 2 on the back. To find point 2, look for the big bone at the base of the neck. From here, move 1 to 1.5 inches to the left. This is point 2. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. More than one associate may work with a recipient provided that all of the associates perform the greeting. If the associate or the recipient leaves the session, or if someone who hasn't done the greeting touches either the recipient or the associate, the greeting must be reestablished. Then the session may proceed from where it was interrupted.
Yes? Okay. Okay, so we are going to begin to share with you the specific sets of points that we feel are very important to address this condition that we're doing tonight, lymphedema. The first one that we're going to share is called heart, veins, blood pressure, and circulation. And of course, this is important because Hillary was telling us that the lymphatic fluid is part of that whole blood circulatory system. So this is a really important one, we feel. And that's what we do. We try to pick 3 or 4 basic sets of points to begin to address a condition, not to say that you can't use more. This is just a beginning. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
This set of points may be used for conditions relating to the heart, veins, blood pressure, and circulation. To perform this set, first find hold point X, which is on the breastbone, directly between where the nipples would be on a youth. Another way to find X is by measuring 1/3 of the way up the breastbone from greeting point 1. To address the well-being of the heart, hold X, and with the other hand touch points 1 and 2. These points may be found by imagining a line running from the notch at the top of the breastbone to a place on the left breast where the nipple would be on a youth. Divide this diagonal line into thirds. Point 1 is at the top of the first third. Point 2 is at the top of the second third. Veins, blood pressure, and circulation may be addressed by touching point 3 in addition to points 1 and 2. Point 3 is at the soft indentation just above the collarbone, above and to the left of the notch at the top of the breastbone. It is the same as point 1 in step 1 of the metabolism set. Remember to hold each point for at least 6 to 8 seconds.
Okay. All right. The next set we want to share with you is called the metabolism. And remember, Hillary was saying that, the metabolism helps the body to help itself, literally. So that buildup of cellular waste, the inflammation, anything that the body wants to get rid of or assimilate, this is a great one. The arthritis, she was talking about that, fluid retention, all of that can be helped by doing this set. It's really a great set for anything like that. So let's go ahead and watch how that is done.
The metabolism set can be used to help the body assimilate what it needs and eliminate what it doesn't need. The metabolism set has 2 steps. Step 1 involves touching points in matching fire along the large muscles on the front of the neck. Points 1 and 1 are located above the collarbone in the soft indentations on both sides of the notch at the top of the breastbone. Points 2 and 2 are halfway up the neck on the front of the large muscles. Points 3 and 3 are at the top of the neck on the front of the large muscles. The second step involves holding a point on the front of the body and touching points next to the spine on the back. Hold point X on the front of the body is on a line directly between where the nipples would be on a youth and is 1 to 2 inches to the left of the breastbone. Another way to find X is 1/3 of the way up the breastbone from greeting point 1 and 1 to 2 inches to the left of the breastbone. The points on the back are located next to the spine, forming a rectangle around the breakover point. The breakover point is where the bottom of the rib cage joins the spine and can be found by imagining a line directly through the body from greeting point 1. To perform step 2, find hold point X on the front of the body and touch points 1 through 4 on the back. Point 1 is approximately 1 to 2 inches up from the breakover point on the left spine muscle. Point 2 is directly across from point 1 on the right spine muscle. Point 3 is 2 to 3 inches below the breakover point on the right spine muscle. Point 4 is used to address blood sugar problems and is added to the other metabolism points when needed. It is located across from point 3 on the left spine muscle.
Okay, so the last set that we're going to share with you is called the infection, allergy, and poison. These are 3 distinct sets, but Paul, I'm thinking the infection set, right?
Actually, that would be all of them, because it could, it's like she was saying, if it's an it could be allergy symptom or an infection that's going on, but also could be poison. She talked about the poison in the system too. So, doing all 3 wouldn't be.
All 3 doesn't hurt at all, does
right.
it? Yeah. Yeah. Just know that these are 3 distinct sets of points. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch the video then, someone doing that.
Okay.
The infection, allergy, and poison sets are 3 separate sets of points. They all share the same hold point, which is the same as greeting point 1, located in the fleshy area just below the base of the breastbone. As with all sets of points, these may be touched repeatedly. Infections of any kind anywhere in the body may be addressed by holding X and with the other hand touching point 1, which is at the base of the large muscle on the right side of the neck and slightly above and behind metabolism point 1. Allergies or allergic reactions may be addressed by holding X and with the other hand touching point 2, which is on the right side of the neck, directly behind metabolism point 3 on the top of the large muscle. To address poisoning within the body, hold X and with the other hand alternately touch point 1 and point 2.
So that's how to work with the lymphatic system.
That's the beginning.
Yep. So there's another piece in that workbook. It talks about local work.
Right.
And I think that once you've learned BioTouch, you then take these two fingers, and there's a video for that too, but we just want to share with you, and you can touch wherever there's a pain, or if you want the lymph system, like what was amazing how she talked about, it's right on the top of the skin, right
underneath the skin right here.
So you just take those two fingers and lightly move across an affected area. Okay, so if your arm's swollen or your leg, you could just take both hands and lightly touch. You know, what's also interesting is it doesn't matter the direction. You don't have to know how the lymph system's flowing, because if you just lightly touch, the body's going to figure it out. So at that point in the game with BioTouch, it doesn't matter where you touch, wherever the symptom is that you're feeling. You want to take then both fingers. You can either do 6 to 8 seconds touching points, or you can do what we call sweeps, slow and deliberate movement lightly on the skin for whatever area you want to have an effect with.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Another thing I liked in her presentation was, you know, how she talked about trying to get to the cause. Like she gave all these diseases and diagnoses that all had a cause to her, which was getting to the lymph system. And that's the whole purpose of BioTouch. The nice thing with BioTouch is we don't have to figure it out.
Right.
We do the touching, and you and your body will figure it out. You know, what we find is when you do BioTouch, people tend to be drawn to the right foods. Even, you know, I remember so many times a meat eater all of a sudden will want more broccoli. You know? Or somebody who's lived only on living foods, all of a sudden striving to go get some meat, a Big Mac or something, because their body needs that meat protein, the enzymes that are in that. So what's nice for us is we send people to people like Hillary if you want really specific lymph system work, but BioTouch can help you on your healing journey. It can give you a beginning when you're just at the end of your rope and you don't know what to do. I mean, it's just perfect.
I think for me, when she said just the name of her book, You Have the Power,
right.
It's the power, as you were saying, the power to be able to listen to your body.
Yes.
That's when the journey begins, when you're willing to listen to that body. It's wonderful.
So that's why we share BioTouch. If you have any questions about the lymphatic system, you can get hold of Hillary Gooden at hillarygooden.com. You can get hold of us at justtouch.com. Send us an email at office@justtouch.com, and we will help you take care and take responsibility for your own health care.
We will.
We will.
Come and learn the whole technique.
Yes, we have numerous ways to do that. We have a Monday show. We have a practitioner training class, which is just a one-day training. We do that virtually. If you live in Tucson, Arizona, we have live trainings. So we can also just share with you through a Zoom, very simple sets to do. We can get your family together and teach you what to do. We're here to help. Thank you, Bev, for teaching the points tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul, and thanks everyone for joining us tonight.
And we'll see.
Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you, Hillary. And next month, we're talking about eye care. So we'll see you all next month. And have a nice evening or a nice
Have a
day
nice
or a nice
evening,
morning
everyone.
whenever you're watching this.
Right.